What's up, guys? Skippy Africanus here, and today we have a rather simple just testing video. So I have purchased this 25-round magazine from Brownells, mainly for collection. I didn't really, intend to actually shoot it, funny enough. Same thing, actually, with this waffle mag I ordered. I just thought, for collection, they were kind of cool. But, anyways, yeah, I wasn't going to shoot it, but one of my iFunny subs mentioned that he has two of them, they run great, and he also said that a lot of people were complaining about him, mostly from Reddit, which already kind of says all you need to know about. Anyways, I figured, well, I own the magazine, and if people are complaining about it, why not, test it out? So I'm just gonna take this to the range, and I'm gonna put, I think I have 75 rounds, so we'll put 75 rounds through and see if we get any issues. And yeah, let's just go down to the range and test that out.
Remember, good. Like this? Go. Go. Joe, open it. I'll let you do it. Wrong way. There you go. You're shooting my target. I know. No. Yeah.
Alright, so we are back from the range, and we got some stuff to go over with this magazine. Now, one thing I will mention is the guy that I had mentioned before that his two magazines ran perfectly fine. I know him, so, he seems like a pretty knowledgeable dude and all that, and I don't think he would try to sell me on, some nonsense. Though, that being said, as I always say with any type of product review or, firearm review, all that stuff, go with what your eyes tell you, and your eyes most certainly told you that we had at least one problem. There's another problem that I'm going to bring up that I don't think you guys will see it on the camera. When I was looking at the footage, it just looks like I take the mag out and reload, but it's a neat, interesting thing to bring up anyways. Again, because I don't think you can really see it on the GoPro. So anyways, first problem, of course, was on a fully loaded 25-round magazine, the bolt, at least at the range, would not go forward. Now, I should have, looked inside the chamber when it did that. I don't know why I didn't. I think it's because normally when that's happened, it's always been the result of, intense spring pressure. And that M16A1 is 70s, 80s surplus, plus I shoot it a lot. So, the buffer spring may not be the most, strongest of springs. At least that's what my thought was. So I didn't look inside the chamber. Needless to say, though, I came home and then went to go test it out with my Hellion because I had figured that, the spring That's what I figured was what was at fault with it, was that the spring pressure it was fighting with the pressure of the magazine, and I figured a better gun to look into how well that worked would be my Hellion, because it's brand new. Hellion fed, and then it didn't feed, and that's where I caught what the actual problem was. And after I saw that, I of course tested it in the A1, and it further proved it. The problem with the fully loaded at least 225, when I download it to 24, I have not been able to replicate the issue, but on 25, depending on where the bullet is positioned, it will cause it to slam into like the bottom, like bottom of the chamber. It won't like properly feed into the rifle. And you can see here, unlike on a normal magazine, these rounds, well, you just saw me practically pull it out, but these rounds have a fair amount of play. They're kind of not stacked too well, like compared to, like, let's say this 20 rounder from Brownells, where it's, you know, a lot more firmly in place. These have a lot of play, so now when I was trying to induce a malfunction, I did notice, funny enough, if I pushed the front end down a little bit, it would actually feed more better. I think it's because of it can grab the rim. But yeah, that was definitely a problem we had, again, only on a fully loaded magazine. With 24 rounds, I didn't even, well, yeah, like I said, I haven't been able to replicate that issue with 24 rounds, and I did do what I just mentioned, which was, you know, play with positioning of the bullet. So yeah, that's one of the problems we experienced, was it just seems like the position's a little bit out of whack. Now, I'm not sure that that's Brownells' fault, of course. They're going off some original specs, and let's be honest, they didn't adopt a 25 rounder. There was probably a reason for it. Next up, this issue, it actually happened the last few rounds in the gun. You'll see as I was downloading the magazines, I had the bullets to the side, so I took those the last 3 rounds and then just loaded them in the mag to shoot them. And on that last round, so the bolt locked open right, and that round had actually like popped up, like as in like it was basically floating on top of this magazine. The bolt, again, as mentioned, had locked open. I don't really know what caused that. I have a hunch, though, when I can get this round out, that this right feed lip in particular is, I don't know, it's a little bit loose on holding the round, so yeah, I don't really know what caused that, but it, of course, happened, and now we're talking about it. But overall, though, I will say, now, there was some guys that were talking about using these for their, you know, epic boogaloo rifle, whatnot. Yeah, maybe for that's probably not a good idea. But I mean, I got it for collection. I didn't plan on shooting it, to be honest. But I would run this in a match. I think it did run reliably enough, especially when I ran off 24 rounds. But yeah, those were the issues I was having with this. So to keep in mind, too, with these, they're actually on their last production run, though. So even if you still want to buy it, you might want to pick one up soon. I think I paid $56 for this. Yeah. Now, one thing, actually, I'll bring up 2 things that I wanted to mention with this magazine. This seems like it's actually more just with Brownells, because I've used these 20 rounders before many times, and this thing hates stripper clips. I know a lot of people don't use stripper clips. I love using them, though. And I did notice the same problems as other 20 rounders had. On this one, it also had problems with stripper clips. Another thing I did notice too, when I would put it in the Hellion, was on a fully loaded magazine with the bolt closed, I really did have to give it like a tap, like it didn't want to, you know, seat. And I mean, I know that's sometimes a common thing with like ARs, at least with mine, where like on a closed bolt it gets kind of funky putting a fully loaded magazine in. But with the Hellion so far, I've used quite a few different magazine, you know, just different brand magazines, and every single time it fits in perfectly fine, bolt closed, doesn't care. And I did notice with this one that it did give me issue with that. I mean, that's kind of, I don't really think that's necessarily an important thing to bring up, but I guess it was one little nuanced thing. If you lock the bolt back, it's going to fit in the gun. But yeah, overall, I think we've gone over this magazine enough, and yeah, that's the problems we experienced with it. I hope you all enjoyed the video as much as I personally enjoyed making it, and I will see y'all next time.